is not what we predicted. This is absolutely not what we predicted. So here we go. It looks like Ito's going first, and he doesn't waste any time whatsoever.
Nope.
Coming out strong with a mathematician.
Yeah, and that's a fantastic card to open with. He's also opened with Mistake. So,
so there is a chance we're going to see the same thing that we saw in the semifinals, where a mistake has been flipped and the game was over.
and if we look at Jorg's hand right now,
oh my!
I'm just gonna leave
Leave to
that
everybody's
to be,
imagination.
just sinked in a little bit. I want people to just have a look at that right now.
This is pretty much the opposite of a royal flush.
Yeah.
I think it would be a good hand in other games, but not at the moment.
No. So if he draws Mystical Space Typhoon as his next card, then we're in business.
Okay.
We are very much in business.
All right. So Ito decides to set everything. Why hold on 2 cards in your hand?
Yeah.
Everything face down. There's the reinforcement.
Yep. So
he did not draw into a Mystical Space Typhoon.
Yep.
There's the mistake. And
Jorg is going to pass right now. He's just going to pass.
Yeah, there is a chance that we're going to see this match conclude, this game conclude extremely fast now.
Yeah. So okay. So Book of Moon. He sets his Book of Moon. That's his only card. Ito manages to. Falco does a backflip. That was quite fun. And yeah, we're gonna just basically have to sit and wait to see if he draws an out. So sure, that's not one. So let's have a quick look at his deck list here. The only outs he has to mistake are the Exceed plays that you can make using your Manjus and Senjus, or drawing into cards that allow you to ritual summon.
There is the mind control that we spoke about earlier.
Yeah. So he's actually going to be able to make a Synchro Monster with this.
That's also something we don't see every day.
Oh,
that's Shaddoll Fusion.
He can just play Shaddoll Fusion and summon a Noyatilis. Oh wow!
Whoa, no disrespect, people. Don't get the wrong idea. But this is huge for Ito, Rafael, Marcus, who just said, "I don't think I'm going to win this." But look at that.
So that mind control that we didn't think were going to be
relevant at all.
Impactful.
Yeah, actually.
And you just hear the crowd.
We can hear it, yeah. I think you guys can't hear because we got very, very well-tuned microphones. But the crowd just saw that mistake being flipped because we got a little bit of a delay in the stream to make sure that nobody can scream, "Hey, he's got this card on his hand," and avoid that kind of interference. And
wow.
Speaking of interference, Ito's got an effect veiler, so he can stop whatever Jörg can do almost in case his mistake is not going to be active again. But the question for Jörg Müller is, as you pointed out, does he draw an MST or not? Yeah. Is that correct?
That's the question right now. Or his other possibility still is that he can...
There it is. He did not draw the Mystical Space Typhoon. He did not draw another card that could have gotten him out of that sticky situation. And Ito Rafael Marcus applying the perfect lock thanks to that mistake early on, follows it up, just basically summoning a bunch of monsters and a synchro summon. Wow. And that was
crazy.
1-0 for Israel. Clean sweep.
That mind control.
And now look at those guys. Look at the body language here. Ito, he doesn't look like he doesn't give a... he looks like he's happy how this can go. And I think it's sinking in right now. The realization is setting in. And he's like, I'm one game away from becoming the European champion. And now he's asking for a charge. And...
yeah, so I think we actually have on screen that they both lost game 1, but we can get that soon corrected. But wow, that was incredible.
Was the most explosive of openings, yes.
Yeah, that's just I don't know.
Yeah, let's you guys. Yeah, we're just gonna give you guys a quick break so you can let that sink in. Israel is leading in the finals of the European Championship with not the Nekroz deck, quite the opposite.
Yeah, that was
a Shaddoll deck.
Absolutely explosive start to this finals.
Yes, and is that what you like? Just prior to the match, we were like, "Oh, the players are not pumped for this." I'm so pumped right now, and everybody watching this on the big screen outside is
almost 100 people outside.
Yeah. There are 2 walls in between us and the guys watching the game on the big screen, and we can still hear them.
Yeah, even with these headsets on.
Yeah, at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
All right, so it seems like they are currently in the side decking process. No penalties have been given.
Yeah.
So everything is fine. Don't you guys worry. You can also see that the match or game results are correct now. Ido is leading. Jörg has lost. You can see that indicated by that red light and that yellow light. And so what is going to be introduced from the side decks here?
So the strange thing, so Ido has Lila in his side deck, which is very strange. I don't want to say that he's going to put that in because it doesn't seem like a good card against Nekroz. I think we're going to see quite the standard, the player who is playing Nekroz wishes to put in Royal Decree, and the opponent, even though they know that their opponent currently doesn't, the Nekroz player is not going to be playing any trap cards right now, that going into games 2 and going into games 3, he's going to be playing those Royal Decrees, so he needs some Mystical Space Typhoons.
Right. That's why.
So he's probably going to end up putting those in. He also has 3 Artifact Lancia, which, again, is really, really good in the Shaddoll deck. Really fantastic.
And for those guys who don't know what that card does, can you just quickly recap why it is so good?
Yeah, so Artifact Lancia is, so it has the same effect as all the other Artifact monsters, where you can set it from your hand in the spell and trap card zone, and then if it's destroyed from that spell and trap card zone, then it gets summoned to the field. You can also tribute it from your hand or your field during your opponent's turn, and neither player can banish cards during that turn. So that stops the searching with the mirrors for the Nekroz deck. It stops the Trishula plays. It stops you being able to play Nekroz Mirror. That's really good.
It is really good. And some of you guys have been asking, how come that Israel is in Europe? Of course, you're correct. Israel is not in Europe. However, there are 3 Konami offices, 1 in Japan, 1 in America. Sorry, I totally missed that opportunity there. And then we got 1 more in Europe. And these 3 offices are taking care of all of the markets, really. So unless the country is located, I would say, far east in Asia or somewhere in America, the European office is taking care of them, which means we're covering South Africa, for example, and Israel. There we go. Handshake prior to the second match, second game.
Straight in.
And there we go. Who's going to go first?
Here we go. So I want to say that Jorg's going to let Ido go first so that it gives him less cards. But we just saw that happen, and, you know, we saw what happened when he got the right cards in his opening hand.
All right, so there's a Foolish Burial.
Yep.
And he's got an Effect Veiler and Sinister Shadow Games in hand.
Yeah. So he Foolish Burial Skomata, and then Skomata immediately gets to send Shaddoll Falco to the graveyard. And then he normal summons Thunder King.
Which is like a mistake on legs.
Yeah, on very spiky, thundery legs.
Yes, and let's look at Jörg's hand. He's got a Reinforcement, Royal Decree, Raigeki, so he can get rid of...
Yeah, very easily get rid of
And is that one of these situations where you play Raigeki on the first turn?
Yeah, very much so.
That was a bit like a loaded question. I think it was
it was a bit of a loaded question, that.
All right.
So immediately what's going to happen is either Ido is going to flip over the... Sinister Shadow Games just so that you can get the flip effect of Falco. He does? Okay, that's very strange right now. What I see here is very strange, because you're going to want to get Falco back from this Raigeki, but we'll see. I don't understand quite why he's done that, but we'll see. We'll see how this plays out. He's the one playing in the finals of the European Championship. I'm not going to question that right now.
Well, but then again, even in another final that we've seen this weekend at the Dragon Duel Championship, there was an opportunity to finish a game, and the player didn't take advantage of it because the stakes are this high.
Yeah.
You are nervous. And there we go. So
so he decided to send Beast to the graveyard, draw a card, and then he could special summon one of the Shaddoll monsters. I don't know which one, though. I didn't get to see which one.
Right. Okay, so this is big for Jörg Müller, because he's not under the lock of Thunder King Ryo. And let's look at his hand that is suddenly extremely live.
He can go to town now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All 3 of the ritual spell cards.
Yeah, I don't actually think there's... Let me just see his hand. There's actually not much to be done here.
Yeah, he's got the Reinforcement.
There's not much to be done.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he can Reinforcement into, like, Shura or into Clausulus, but there's no possible card he can play Reinforcement of the army into that's going to get him any further on into summoning a ritual monster.
What is a card that Jörg needs in this situation?
Manju, Senju, both searches.
Anything that allows him to search his deck.
Yeah, or a Bryanak.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what he got. Yeah, so he got Shura. Yeah, that's what expected.
All right, he sets possibly the royal decree.
Yeah,
I think that's a given.
That's got to be the royal decree.
And with that,
Oh,
play.
okay, we see Light and Dark banished, and I think here's Blackluster Soldier.
Blackluster Soldier. Wow, Ido Raphael Marcus just rips the cards that he needs. And there is a Blackluster Soldier on the second turn already.
Yeah.
Talk about an explosive opening for him in
wow.
that second game. And 3,000, he's going to town. Suddenly, Jörg Müller on a very, very big clock. He needs something to fight back.
There's an Ice Hand. That's not going to be fighting back.
And his Raigeki's gun, of course. Like,
Yeah.
there's not that much else that he has to deal with a Blackluster Soldier.
Wow, okay.
And wow.
I'm thoroughly enjoying the fact that we've been seeing Raigeki spoiling people's day, and that was the only recently...
basically, the first band list is making an impression here.
Yeah, yeah. So we saw Raigeki and Blackluster Soldier.
I can one-up you easily. All right, there we go.
He picks the Skromata, and that's got to be an Ice Hand. That's got to be the Ice Hand. Yeah, and Ice Hand doesn't get its effect because there's no monsters. He summons the Falco. This is going to be 5-4.
This is not something we see every day.
Is it 5-4? Yeah, this is game right here.
And there's
That's
only
game.
a decree.
That's
That
game.
is it.
Wow.
In fact, wow. What a match. Ido Raphael Marcus, we just thought, okay, he cannot deal any damage. Rips the Blackluster Soldier. Envoy off the beginning from the top. 3,000. And then the next turn, he can actually go for a Falco. And Falco is going to be the game winner here. Oh. Wow. 2-0 Ido Raphael Marcus.
That
Israel
game
is a European champion.
That entire game was like 5 turns long.
Yeah. And the highlight reel of this game is basically, I'm going to show you the entire first game, and after that I'm going to show you the entire second game. This is going to be our highlight reel.
Yeah, Matthew's going to be sat outside thinking, these guys are going to think I'm not doing a good job with all these highlights, because there isn't any.